How much more are you willing to put up with? I've been on the phone for the last week or so with applicants to our 21-day challenge, and time again, it's coming up that people are getting to the stage, they're at the stage where they're not willing to put up with it anymore. They're not willing to listen to themselves, making excuse after excuse about how it's not the right time, about how they're too busy, about how they're last in the pecking order, about how what they've tried before hasn't worked. How much longer are you willing to tolerate that? How much longer are you willing to put up with that? Because no one is coming to save you. I'm going to be, totally blunt, totally honest here. No one is going to come and save you until you decide that enough is enough. And that is the exact phrase that so many applicants are telling me on the phone, that they've got to the stage where enough is enough. It's time for them to put themselves first. They've decided that it's the right time for them to be at the top of their priority list, rather than coming last, rather than being at the very bottom after they've looked after everyone else. Like, you know, after they've played mum or dad taxi, after they've worked their socks off, and, you know, they get to the end of the day, and for weeks, if not months, possibly even years now, it's been the case where they get to the end of the day and they're knackered. They're just knackered, and they are living for the weekend. It's like Monday to Friday is, you know, this treadmill that they're on, and come the weekend, they're like, thank funk for that, and they're lying in, and then they're, you know, letting their hair down, and there's no structure at the weekend, and Saturday, Sunday takes the edge off things. It feels okay because they've got that freedom and stuff, but then Monday rolls around again, and they're back to where they started the previous week. Like, how much longer are you willing to put up with that? Like, because the second you decide that you're not willing to put up with it, and you do something to change trajectory or change course, you then start to feel a different way, because you're going to do different things, which are ultimately going to give you different results, which are ultimately going to give you different beliefs in terms of, I'm not being woo-woo, like beliefs in terms of what you think is possible. What you think is possible in terms of changing, because unless you truly believe that you can make a change, that it's not too late. Here's a secret, it's never too late to change. But until you believe it yourself that it is possible to change, then you won't make a change. And the life that you have right now is the one that you're willing to put up with right now. The health and fitness that you have right now is at a level that you're willing to put up with. The business you have, the job you have, the life you lead, it's all down to how much you're willing to put up with. So where would you be? How different could you feel if you were to expand that so that you were willing to put up with something different? Not exactly, it doesn't have to be more, it just might be something different. How could your world look? How could your fitness, your fun, your finance, your family, and your focus, how could those areas in your life look different if you were willing to put up with something else? Or put it another way, if you weren't willing to put up with the life that you have right now any longer? How would that change things? How would you feel? Where would you be in 21 days time if you were to join our challenge? Or 6 weeks time, couple of months time, a year's time, Like in a year's time, on the 12th of October 2021, when you look back, are you going to be in exactly the same place? Are you going to feel the exact same way as you do today? Are you going to be living the exact same life? And if you were to, I guess this is the question, if you were to be living the exact same life you are now in a year's time, how does that make you feel? Would you be happy with that? If yes, carry on. If you wouldn't be happy with that, then maybe it's because you're not willing to put up with it anymore. And if so, that can be your catalyst to changing things. Like the way I changed things back just before my 30th birthday, whereby I decided that I had this itch to scratch, so to speak, and I did the first thing, which was the catalyst to me eventually moving and switching careers from a career in finance to now a career in fitness, because I wasn't willing to put up with the life that I was leading up till that point. I wasn't willing to put up with it anymore, so I decided I was going to do something about it. I went away, got retrained, I started building my experience, I started learning, I started making mistakes, I started learning what works and what doesn't, and over the last however many years now since I've been in the fitness profession, I've learnt those lessons. I've been able to gather that wisdom and knowledge and pass that on ultimately to my clients so that they get the shortcuts. That's what they're investing in. They're getting the shortcuts so that they don't have to sit all the exams, learn all the mistakes, so that they don't have to go through the early mornings and long hours and stuff that I did around my other career whilst I was cutting my teeth, whilst I was learning the ropes. They're investing in being held accountable so that they actually end up doing what they said they would do. Because it's so easy to talk yourself out of doing something. It's so much harder when someone else is knocking on your shoulder and saying, come on, Mike, you said you were going to do this. Why didn't you? Or what can we do to help you get back on track? Or, encouraging you, right? That's ultimately what you need. It's the encouragement, because motivation is so low right now for so many people. They've got into this rut, this cycle of, as a direct result of the things that have gone on over the last, 6 to 8 months, so to speak. And they've decided enough is enough. So is it enough is enough for you? If so, then what are you going to do about it? How much longer are you willing to put up with the way things are right now? Are you willing to put up with it for another year, 6 months, a couple of months, a couple of weeks, another day? Because it's only when you decide that you're not willing to put up with it for another second that change is going to happen. So where are you on that scale? How much longer are you willing to put up with where you are now in terms of your health and fitness and everything else? Because if you're not happy, then you can do something about it, and it is never, ever too late. And if you're unsure of how to make that change, how to switch and change things up and get back into something and get back on it, then that's when you ask for help. Okay? Something to think about. Have a great evening if you're watching this live. And otherwise, I will see you in the next video very, very soon.